You may have seen me eating once or twice. Here's something you didn't know about me. I really don't prefer chocolate. Not my favorite thing. I really liked the apple I was eating the other day. That was pretty good. Let's talk about this. I just opened some chocolate. Got a piece of plastic here. Pretty solid. I can't really stick my fingers through it. Are the particles in my chocolate moving? Can you see them? Are they moving? Are they moving? What are particles? What are they? What makes up this chocolate? I have to really try hard to break it. Well, not too hard. I'm not a wuss. Well, I am, but not with chocolate. Hey, is the room warmer with my mouth? Nope. It really isn't. My mouth is definitely warmer. I'm totally talking with my mouth full, right? There's some chocolate in there. And it's melting. Melting? How warm does it have to be? So, I'm so sorry that I'm talking with my mouth full. Hopefully, at some point, today, tomorrow, the next day, you get some seafood. Ew, that's so gross. Sorry. All right. So, today we're going to talk about solids, liquids, and gases, and what their particles actually would look like if we could actually see each individual particle. So my mouth is really warm because my body is really warm, about 20 or 30 degrees warmer than the room. And so the chocolate melted in my mouth. I can still feel it and taste it. Ugh. I kind of like chocolate, but really, no. Hey, what's in my... Ooh, that moves around. Not like the chocolate in my chocolate bar, which was solid, right? Don't worry. It's just water. Okay. Which is what? Solid, liquid, or gas? Well, at this point, it's a liquid. How could I make this a solid? Well, if you guess that I could cool it down or remove the heat and make it a solid into ice, you're correct. What would happen to the particles? Well, they would slow down. Can I make this into a gas? If you think I can make this into a gas, thumbs up. If you think no, thumbs down. Okay. So, let me have you do something with your hand. You know you have moisture in your body. I want you to take your hand and breathe on it. Did your hand get kind of moist? You're right. Could you see the moisture coming out of your mouth or out of my mouth? Nope, but it does. And it comes out as water, H2O, and that's a gas, like it's vapor. You can't see it, but it's still the same water that I have in my cup, right? On a cold day, you can go outside and you breathe out and you see steam coming out of your mouth, right? Not steam. It's really condensation. It's really just the water droplets freezing or cooling or coming together because they're condensing because it's colder outside of your body than inside of your body. So let's talk about particles. So in solids, and this is ice, and this is water, and this would be vapor, right? So solids, liquids, gases. Here's a picture of what the molecules would look like if we were able to actually see them. In solids, usually the molecules are pretty close together. They're vibrating, actually. They're kind of moving just a little bit. They usually have a regular pattern, usually. And they usually vibrate on the spot. So like the molecules were actually moving in my piece of chocolate. Ew, it's getting kind of slimy and melty. What's going on with my chocolate? So they actually are close together and they vibrate where they are. In liquids, they're a little bit further apart and they're a little bit more random when they're arranged. And they really move around each other. You could see when I was kind of shaking my cup here that the water just is really, it moves, okay? It kind of slides past each other. And liquids, of course, take the shape of their container. This is not news to you. Gases, like inside this balloon, okay, they're really far apart In fact, they're so far apart you can walk right through them, and you can see through most of them. So they have a random arrangement. They're not in any particular order. And they move quickly in all directions until they bump into something or each other. And then they just keep moving and bumping into each other. Oh my gosh, you guys, this chocolate in my hand, you have to look at it. It is just really getting mushy. I'm speeding up the particles, right? Because the hand is warmer than the air. So if I just left this outside in my room, nothing would happen. But my hand warmed it up and it started to melt. And you know what? It's really slippery and slidey and melty and gooey. So it has a pretty low melting temperature. Maybe it melts at body temperature, right? Which is 98.6 degrees. So that's pretty interesting because if you put a chocolate in your mouth and it melts really fast, you're definitely warm enough to melt sugar. All right. So today, what you're going to do is our learning target is I can identify the arrangement of particles in solids, liquids, and gases. So here are your notes. In a solid, particles move slowly and are very close together. In a liquid, particles are farther apart and move at a medium speed. And in a gas, particles are very far apart and moving rapidly. Now, their movement, of course, is compared to one another, right? So solid particles move slow, liquid a little bit faster, gas really fast. Okay? Solids close together, liquids a little farther apart, gases way far apart. So here are 3 diagrams for you. This one, you see these little dash marks, those indicate motion, right? Okay, so the circles are just particles. These are particles, these are particles. Today, when you're done with your lesson, I want you to label each of arrangement of particles. I want you to use solid, liquid, and gas as terms to label those arrangement of particles. And don't worry if you don't draw them perfectly. We can't all be amazing artists like Mrs. Tomlinson. Just kidding. I'm not a good artist. Okay. Then you're going to watch some videos and then you are going to submit a Google Form assignment. Submit Google Form assignment at the end of this lesson. All right, notice the solids, liquids, and gases around you and have a fantastic afternoon, day, morning, evening, whenever you decide to complete this lesson, which hopefully you finish by next class.